Have you ever walked through your home and felt a quiet weight pressing down, not from sadness, but from things? The shelves stacked a little too high, the drawers that barely close, the corners where memories and objects seem to tangle together. Over the years, it all adds up, not just in piles, but in how it makes us feel. It's the slow, creeping clutter that whispers, "You've already lived enough," when in truth, there's still so much life waiting. Maybe you've told yourself, "I'll sort it one day," but that day never seems to come. The truth is, you don't have to live surrounded by what no longer serves you. Imagine a home that feels lighter, where every room breathes, and you can move freely without the quiet guilt of things left undone. Today, we'll walk together through 10 simple but meaningful things to release, one in each room, that can open up not just your home, but your peace of mind. Before we begin, please take a second to like, subscribe, and tap that hype button. Every hype helps this message reach more seniors who are ready to live lighter, freer, and with renewed purpose. Marjorie Finch is 72 years old, a retired schoolteacher from the peaceful town of Appleton, Wisconsin. For most of her life, her home was filled with energy, the rustle of papers as she graded assignments late into the night, the hum of her husband tuning the radio to their favorite station, the laughter of neighbors dropping by for coffee. Her home once echoed with living. But as the years passed, life grew quieter. After her husband's passing, silence took up residence, and the hundreds of little objects that once made her home warm, began to feel heavier. Every shelf was crowded with keepsakes, every drawer held fragments of days she couldn't bring herself to revisit. She'd tell herself she was keeping them for the memories, but deep down, she knew the memories lived in her heart, not in the clutter. One chilly morning, while dusting a shelf she hadn't touched in months, she paused, holding a small snow globe her husband once gave her. It was beautiful, but it didn't spark the joy it once did. It sparked longing. That was the moment she whispered, "I think it's time." No dramatic plans, no big overhaul, just one small act of courage at a time. A drawer, a photo, a letter. Each decision a quiet step toward peace. What Marjorie discovered wasn't emptiness, it was clarity. Her home began to breathe again, and so did she. Let's walk alongside Marjorie now, room by room, as she rediscovers how letting go can make space for living again. Item 1. Old electronics and cables. Let's begin right where life happens most, the living room. It's the space where stories unfold, laughter lingers, and quiet evenings stretch into memories. But it's also where forgotten things tend to hide. Take a look behind your TV stand, under the coffee table, or in that drawer you haven't opened in years. You'll likely find a tangle of cords that fit nothing, old remotes for TVs that no longer exist, chargers for phones long replaced, or that DVD player that hasn't been turned on since your grandkids were in middle school. These things once had purpose. They once brought joy, connecting you to favorite shows, music, or moments shared with loved ones. But their time has passed. The truth is, you don't need to hold on to a drawer full of wires to hold on to the memories attached to them. Those moments, the movie nights, the laughter, the comfort of familiar sounds, live in you, not in the cables. Imagine this. You pull out every forgotten cord, dust off the shelves, and decide what truly serves your life today. A simple act of sorting can lift an invisible weight from the room. Suddenly, your living space looks clearer, feels lighter, and even sounds quieter. There's something deeply peaceful about seeing empty space where once there was clutter, as if your home can finally breathe again. If you're unsure where to start, begin small. Choose one box, one drawer, one shelf. Label the cords you still use. Donate or recycle what no longer works. Many local electronic stores and recycling centers now offer free drop-offs for old cables and devices. Some even refurbish them for families who can still use them. Letting go of these unused items isn't wasteful, it's wise stewardship of your space and energy. Every cord you release, every unused gadget you recycle, is a small victory, a sign that your home is becoming what it's meant to be, a place of peace, not storage. What about you? When was the last time you checked behind your TV or inside that drawer full of wires? What old gadget or cable do you still have tucked away? Share it in the comments. Your story might be the nudge someone else needs to start. And once those cords are gone, take a look around your living room, Because the next kind of clutter isn't hiding in a drawer at all, it's hanging right in front of you. Item 2. Decor that no longer brings warmth. We're still in the living room, the space that once reflected who you were, and in many ways, still does. Take a slow look around. The shelves, the mantel, the walls. That painting you bought decades ago, the porcelain figurines, the vase that once held anniversary flowers. These pieces once told your story, but over time, they've stopped speaking. They sit quietly, collecting dust, blending into the background. Decor is meant to lift the spirit of a room, to reflect the warmth of the people who live in it. But when it no longer does that, it begins to weigh the space down. Often, we don't even notice. We pass the same items every day, seeing them without really seeing them. They've become part of the noise instead of the comfort. Your home should reflect who you are now, not hold you in a time that has passed. Letting go of old decor doesn't erase your memories, it gives them room to breathe. Think of it as curating your life rather than cluttering it. If a painting or trinket no longer brings a spark of joy when you look at it, thank it for its time and let it go. You may be surprised how freeing it feels to have open space where your eyes can rest. Start with one area, a shelf, a coffee table, or the wall above your sofa. Pick up each item and ask yourself, does this still warm my heart, or am I keeping it out of habit? If it still stirs happiness, it stays. If not, it served its purpose and can move on. Donate decorative pieces to a local thrift shop or senior center where they can bring joy again. This isn't about stripping your home bare. It's about keeping what truly reflects you, your current chapter, your present piece. Your living room should feel like an embrace, not a museum of what once was. When you give your home room to breathe, it starts to feel lighter and more alive. What about you? Is there one decorative piece that once meant something special but no longer fits your life today? Tell us in the comments. Sharing your story might help someone else find the courage to let go. And now, as we leave the living room behind, let's step into a space where clutter gathers faster than we realize, and decisions often pile as high as the dishes. Item 3. Duplicate tools and appliances. We've now stepped into the kitchen, a place that once overflowed with love, laughter, and the comforting rhythm of daily life. For many of us, it's where the heart of the home still beats. But over time, this same space can quietly fill with more than just warmth, it fills with extras. Take a slow look around your counters and cabinets. You might spot 2 toasters tucked side by side, 3 ladles hanging from a hook, or an extra coffee maker waiting for guests who don't visit as often anymore. These duplicates sneak in one by one, gifts, replacements, upgrades, and before long, they crowd the space where ease and movement should live. Simplifying here isn't about losing comfort or readiness, it's about gaining clarity and safety. Every cleared counter and organized shelf makes your kitchen not only more open but easier to navigate. Your kitchen should serve you, not overwhelm you. Think about how you use your space today, not how it once worked decades ago when family dinners were louder and the table was always full. The beauty of this stage of life is in finding balance, not abundance. Choose one set of utensils that feels good in your hand, one reliable coffee maker that fits your morning routine, one pan that cooks perfectly every time. The rest is just clutter disguised as convenience. If you're hesitant to let go, ask yourself, when was the last time I reached for this? If it's been years, it's no longer serving your present life. You can donate duplicate appliances to local shelters, community kitchens, or family resource centers. Someone out there could truly use what you no longer need. You'll not only free up space, you'll also pass forward usefulness. Decluttering your kitchen isn't about making it look bare, it's about allowing it to feel peaceful again. It's about walking in, taking a breath, and seeing space instead of stuff. That clear countertop becomes more than a surface, it's an invitation to enjoy cooking again, to move freely, to rediscover the pleasure of simplicity. When your kitchen breathes, so do you. What about you? What's one extra kitchen gadget or appliance you could part with today? Maybe it's that old blender, the second slow cooker, or the drawer full of mismatched utensils. Share it in the comments. Your small step might motivate someone else to start. And while you're standing there, take a closer look at your shelves, because the next kind of clutter doesn't take up counter space at all. It hides behind the labels, waiting quietly in your pantry. Item 4. Expired and unused pantry items. Now, let's open the pantry, the quiet corner of the kitchen that often holds more history than we realize. Look closely at the shelves. You might find sauces for recipes you never made, jars of jam you meant to try, or cans tucked so far back their labels have faded. Over time, these things become part of the background, almost invisible, yet they quietly take up space. And every time you open that door, there's a small feeling of guilt or overwhelm that whispers, "I should deal with this." Clearing your pantry isn't wasteful, it's freeing. You're not throwing away food, you're letting go of guilt, of the clutter that no longer serves you. You're making room for nourishment, not nostalgia. Think of your pantry as a reflection of your life today. Maybe there was a time when you cooked for a crowd or loved trying new recipes. But now, your needs are different, and that's perfectly okay. Each phase of life deserves its own rhythm and simplicity. Start with one shelf. Pull everything out, check expiration dates carefully, and wipe the surfaces clean. Anything past its time can go, and anything still good but unused can be donated to a local food pantry or church. It's not about getting rid of things, it's about passing on what can still do good for someone else. When you've finished, step back and take in the sight of your clean, orderly shelves. The light hits differently when the clutter is gone. You can finally see what you have, and suddenly, cooking feels easy and peaceful again. Even your energy shifts, less hesitation, more calm. Your pantry should feel like a space of potential, not pressure. You've earned the right to open that door and feel calm instead of crowded. So, what about you? What's the oldest thing you found hiding in your pantry? Was it a can of soup, a jar of olives, or a mystery spice from years ago? Be honest, we've all found a few surprises. Share it in the comments, you might make someone smile and remind them they are not alone. And now that your shelves are clear, and your kitchen feels lighter, let's move into a room that holds not just clutter, but emotion, the bedroom. Item 5. Clothes that no longer fit your life. Now, let's move into the bedroom, the quiet retreat that should feel like a sanctuary, yet so often holds reminders of who we used to be. Open your closet with kindness, not judgment. You might see the jacket you wore to work every day for 20 years, the dress you bought for a special occasion, or the jeans that no longer fit quite the same. Each piece once had a purpose, each one served a season of your life. But seasons change, and that's not loss, that's growth. Holding on to clothes that no longer fit your body or your lifestyle doesn't preserve your past, it only crowds your present. Start by touching each item and asking yourself a simple question: does this still belong to the life I'm living today? If you pause, hesitate, or feel guilt instead of joy, it may be time to let it go. You deserve clothes that fit your body comfortably, that feel soft on your skin, and that reflect who you are now, not who you were years ago. Your wardrobe should bring ease, not pressure. There's no need to hold on to someday clothes for a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. Letting them go is not giving up, it's making space for the peace and self-acceptance that come with aging gracefully. Try this. Create 3 sections: love it, unsure, and ready to release. The first will hold pieces that make you feel good. The second can wait a little longer until you decide. The last deserves a second life elsewhere. Donate gently used clothing to local charities, senior centers, or organizations that help women re-enter the workforce. Knowing that your clothes will serve someone else brings a quiet satisfaction that outshines the sadness of letting go. And don't forget, the goal isn't a closet that's empty. It's a closet that feels calm, one where everything inside has a reason to be there. When you open the door, it should feel like greeting a friend, not facing a chore. You'll find that dressing becomes simpler, your mornings flow easier, and even your reflection feels lighter. Do you have one outfit you've kept for years because it holds a memory? Maybe it's a wedding dress, a uniform, or a favorite sweater that no longer fits but still carries a story. Share it in the comments. Sometimes speaking about it is the first step to releasing it. And while you're in the bedroom, don't look away just yet. There's something softer, quieter, and often heavier than clothing that may be weighing on you more than you realize. Item 6. Excess bedding and decorative pillows. Still in the bedroom, let's turn our attention to the bed, the heart of your rest and the symbol of peace in your home. Yet, for many of us, this space slowly transforms into storage without us realizing it. Extra pillows pile up, spare blankets multiply, and older linens linger in closets and under beds. What once made the room feel cozy now makes it feel crowded. Beds are for rest, not for managing layers of things we no longer use. Each extra item, no matter how soft or beautiful, can quietly add noise to a space meant for calm. The truth is, the more cluttered your bed and bedroom become, the harder it is for your mind to settle. Start by stripping your bed completely. Every pillow, every blanket, every cover. Look at what you actually use each night. 1 or 2 good pillows, a comfortable blanket, and a set of sheets that feel clean and welcoming are often all you truly need. The rest is excess that clutters the comfort. If you have guest bedding that hasn't been used in years, consider passing it on. Senior centers, local shelters, and community outreach programs often accept gently used linens. By donating, you give warmth to someone who needs it, and in return, your home feels lighter. Take a moment to open your linen closet, too. Fold each item neatly, but be honest, how many sets of sheets does one bed really need? Keep 2 or 3 at most, enough to rotate comfortably, and let the rest go. When the space where you rest feels simple and intentional, your body follows that rhythm. Sleep comes easier when the room feels clear, when you can breathe without visual clutter around you. This process isn't about perfection, it's about peace. The goal isn't a bed that looks like a magazine picture, it's a bed that welcomes you at the end of the day. When your space is free from unnecessary layers, rest becomes deeper, mornings start calmer, and even making the bed feels effortless. So, how do you create peace in your bedroom? Do you love a few cozy layers or lean toward open simplicity? Share your answer in the comments. Your insight might help someone else rediscover rest in their own room. And as you look around at your freshly cleared space, let's move toward an even smaller room, a place where clutter hides quietly behind closed doors, waiting for attention one drawer at a time. Item 7. Expired lotions, products, and medications. Now, let's step into the bathroom, the smallest room in the house, yet somehow one of the most cluttered. Open the drawers, cabinets, and those baskets under the sink. What do you see? Half-used lotions from a hotel stay, face creams with dried lids, bottles of shampoo you didn't like but kept just in case, and medications that expired years ago. These things seem harmless, but together they quietly take over your space and, in some cases, can even become unsafe. Letting them go isn't simply tidying up, it's caring for your health and peace of mind. A cluttered bathroom often leads to frustration, wasted money, and confusion. When you can't find what you need quickly, even a simple morning routine becomes stressful. Start by sorting everything into 3 categories: use now, expired, and no longer needed. Check every label carefully, especially on medications and skincare products. Expired medications can lose effectiveness or become harmful, and outdated lotions or creams can irritate sensitive skin. For old prescriptions, don't toss them into the trash or flush them down the drain. Most pharmacies and local police departments now offer safe medication disposal programs. They'll take them back for free, no questions asked. It's a small act of care that protects both your home and the environment. Once you've cleared the expired items, turn to the products you no longer use. That fancy hairspray from years ago, the lipstick you didn't like, or the perfume that doesn't smell like you anymore, they've done their job. Keeping them only clutters the space where calm should live. Dispose of what's no longer usable and donate unopened, safe items to women's shelters or community centers. Your extras could make someone else's day brighter. When you're done, give your bathroom a gentle clean. Wipe the counters, line the drawers, and keep only what you use daily within easy reach. Suddenly, the space feels calmer, more functional, and surprisingly bigger. There's relief in opening a drawer and finding exactly what you need. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not about chasing perfection, it's about making your mornings and evenings simpler and safer. So, when was the last time you checked expiration dates in your bathroom? What did you find hiding in the back of your cabinet? Share it in the comments, you might remind someone else to do the same. And now that we've cleared this quiet space, let's head to a much bigger one, a place that often stores our someday dreams, waiting patiently for attention. Item 8. unused tools and project supplies. Now, let's make our way to the garage or basement, the space where we keep what we don't want to think about. It's where old projects go to wait, sometimes for months, sometimes for years. Look around the shelves and workbenches. You might see cans of dried paint from a home repair you plan to finish, tools you bought for a project that never quite got started, or gardening supplies that haven't touched soil in a long time. These items were once symbols of motivation and hope, reminders that you could build, fix, and create. But over time, they've become something else, a quiet weight. Letting go of them isn't failure. It's acceptance. It's the gentle recognition that life moves forward, and that we no longer need to carry every unfinished plan with us. Each tool, can, or box you release gives you back something more valuable than space. It gives you back peace. Ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If the answer is measured in years, it may be time to let it go. Keep the tools that truly serve you, the sturdy hammer, the reliable screwdriver, the gardening shears that still fit comfortably in your hand. Donate the rest. Many community workshops, schools, and neighborhood repair programs gladly accept gently used tools and supplies. Your old drill or set of wrenches could help someone else start a dream project of their own. And for those items too old or broken to reuse, paint cans, oil, or chemicals, dispose of them properly. Most towns now offer free hazardous waste drop-off events, ensuring these materials are handled safely. A garage that's clear of clutter isn't just easier to navigate, it's safer, cleaner, and easier to breathe in. The same is true for you. Remember, letting go doesn't mean you've given up your creative spirit. It means you're making space for new energy, new interests, and simpler routines. Maybe now your projects aren't about fixing walls or building shelves, they're about tending to yourself, your relationships, your peace. The workbench may be empty, but your life is still beautifully full. So, what about you? What's one someday project item you've been holding on to? A bucket of paint, an unused tool, or a box of supplies for a plan that never began? Maybe it's time to finally release it. Share it in the comments. Your story might encourage someone else to do the same. And while you're still in this space, take a look around, because another kind of clutter hides here too, flat, silent, and forgotten. Item 9. Old paperwork and manuals. Now, look around your garage, office nook, or that overstuffed drawer in the kitchen, the one that quietly swallows everything from receipts to appliance manuals. Paper clutter is sneaky. It doesn't make noise or take up much space at first, but over time, it grows into stacks that weigh on you more than you realize. Old tax forms from decades ago, user manuals for devices you no longer own, expired warranties, and endless piles of mail you meant to file someday. These papers sit silently, yet they whisper reminders of tasks undone and things long past. But here's the truth, most of these stacks have already served their purpose. Keeping them doesn't preserve order, it prevents it. Start small. Choose one drawer, one box, or one corner of your desk. Sort through each page with intention. Keep only what truly matters: important financial papers, current medical records, warranties for items you still use, and a few personal keepsakes that hold genuine sentimental value. Everything else can go. You don't need every bill or receipt to prove your life, you've already lived it. For papers you want to save but don't need in physical form, use a simple home scanner or even your smartphone to store digital copies. Free apps now allow you to organize and safely back up your documents online, giving you peace of mind without the piles. As you clear each stack, take a moment to notice how much lighter the room feels, and how much lighter you feel. You're not just tidying paper, you're clearing mental space. That visual noise on your desk translates directly into stress in your mind. Imagine walking by and seeing a clean, open surface where once there were endless piles. It's a quiet kind of relief, one that stays with you throughout the day. And don't forget about recycling. Shred and recycle what you can, it's an easy way to let go responsibly. If you have old documents with personal information, most communities offer free shredding days where everything is safely disposed of. You'll leave with your papers gone and your privacy protected. So, is there one pile of papers that's been haunting your desk or a drawer you avoid opening? What's stopping you from tackling it? Share your answer in the comments. You may find that naming it out loud is the first step to finally setting it down. And now, as the last pages are cleared and the weight of old papers lifts, we come to the hardest part of all, the things that don't just touch our hands, but our hearts. Item 10. Trinkets that no longer bring joy. Now we come to the most tender space of all, the sentimental shelf, the box tucked deep in the closet, or the drawer filled with keepsakes you haven't touched in years. These are the pieces that tug gently at the heart, cards with fading handwriting, souvenirs from trips long ago, or small gifts from people you've loved and sometimes lost. Every item tells a story, and that's what makes this step the hardest of all. We often believe that by holding onto the object, we're holding onto the person or the memory. But the truth is, love and meaning don't live in things. They live in the way you remember, in the lessons learned, and in the stories that shaped who you are. Keeping every little piece doesn't protect the past, it hides it beneath layers of clutter. Start gently. Choose one small box or shelf. Pick up each item and ask yourself how it makes you feel right now. If it fills you with warmth or peace, it deserves a place in your home. But if it brings sadness, guilt, or simply nothing at all, it may be time to let it go. Releasing these items doesn't mean forgetting, it means making space for joy to breathe again. Many older adults now practice legacy decluttering, the art of passing on special items with their stories attached. It transforms letting go into an act of love. Imagine giving your grandson the pocket watch you once gave your husband, and sharing its story before you do. That's not loss, it's legacy. For items you're not ready to part with, consider photographing them or writing down their stories in a small journal. A few sentences about what they meant to you can preserve the memory far better than keeping the object itself. Your home should hold what still brings peace, not what quietly adds weight. When you finish, you'll notice the air feels clearer, the shelves feel lighter, and the space around you begins to reflect your life as it is today, calm, meaningful, and free. So, what about you? What's one keepsake you've passed on, and who did you give it to? Maybe it was a letter, a brooch, or a favorite book. Share it in the comments. Your story might help someone else find the courage to begin. Because when you pass love forward, it doesn't fade, it grows. And when Marjorie reached this final step, her home didn't just look lighter, it felt alive again. Here's what she discovered next. When Marjorie finished, she stood quietly in the doorway of her living room, her eyes soft as they swept across the space that once felt too full to breathe in. The hum of clutter was gone. What she heard instead was silence, but not the kind that feels lonely. It was the kind that feels peaceful, like her home was finally exhaling after holding its breath for years. She smiled and said softly, "It feels like my home is breathing again." The furniture hadn't changed, the walls were the same, but something deep within the space, and within her, had shifted. She realized that decluttering hadn't taken away her memories. It had revealed them. Every photo that remained told a clearer story, every shelf that once overflowed now held only what mattered most. What Marjorie discovered was that less truly can mean more, not more things, but more calm, more gratitude, and more room for life as it is now. That's what this journey is really about. It's not about throwing things away, it's about making space for the moments still waiting to come. If Marjorie's story touched your heart, take a moment right now to hype this video. It helps YouTube share this message with more seniors who are ready to find that same peace in their own homes. Here's how to do it. 1. Scroll down and swipe left on the comment preview until you see the hype button. 2. Tap hype. 3. Choose how many points you'd like to give. Smaller creators like this one get an even bigger boost. 4. Confirm, and you're done. You get 3 free hypes each week, and every single one helps this channel reach more people who need a gentle reminder that it's never too late to start fresh. While you're here, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the notification bell so you never miss new stories, tips, and reflections like this one. When you engage, you're not just supporting a video, you're helping build a community where aging means growing wiser, lighter, and freer. Together, we can remind one another that letting go isn't the end of something, it's the beginning of breathing easier. So go ahead, tap hype, hit like, and let's keep spreading this message of lightness and renewal. Because when one person finds peace in their home, it inspires others to do the same.